14-year-old Liam Porter had always been quiet. Not shy. Exactly. Just the kind of kid who could go unnoticed in a crowded hallway. At Greystone High, that was a survival skill. The teachers were overworked, the students cliquish, and everything smelled faintly of bleach and fear. Then he found the circle. It started with a whisper, as most dangerous things do. Liam was in the library, trying to avoid gym class. He was flipping through a book on local history when a folded piece of paper fell from the spine. On it were 5 words. "Are you tired of hiding?" He glanced around, heart pounding. Nobody was there. On the back of the note was a symbol, a triangle inside a circle, with a single eye in the center. He almost laughed. It looked like something from a bad comic, but something about it tugged at him. The next day, another note, slipped in his locker this time. Midnight, clock tower basement. Come alone. Liam didn't tell anyone. Not that he had friends to tell. Curiosity overrode fear. At midnight, he slipped out of his house, biked through the foggy streets, and crept through the crumbling side door of the school. The clock tower was older than the rest of the school. Rumor said it had been part of an asylum before the school was built. Most thought it was locked, but Liam found the basement hatch already open. Candles, chalk markings, cloaks. 6 students stood in a circle, chanting in low voices. They wore black robes with the eyes symbol stitched on the chest. Their leader, a senior named Clara, stepped forward. "You came," she said, smiling. "You saw the signs." Liam didn't speak. His throat had closed. Clara handed him a cloak. "We are the Circle," she said. "We see what others ignore. We take power where others obey." That night, Liam was initiated. He was told secrets about teachers who were part of the group, about rituals that could change memory, bend luck, even make someone disappear, if you knew the words. For the first time in his life, Liam felt chosen. Weeks passed. His grades improved without studying. Bullies stopped bothering him. Teachers called on him like they suddenly remembered he existed. At home, his parents praised him, something they hadn't done in years. But the price was silence and obedience. Each week, the rituals grew darker. At first it was harmless. Blood from a paper cut, an offering of hair, then a dead bird, then something worse. The group demanded loyalty above all. One member who spoke out disappeared. The others never mentioned her name again. Liam tried to leave. Once, they found him the next night in his room, though his doors were locked. "We don't leave," Clara whispered, pressing a cold finger to his forehead. "We are seen or we are nothing." From that night on, Liam dreamed of eyes. Eyes in mirrors, in walls, in the sky, always watching. On the last day of school, Clara graduated. She handed Liam a box wrapped in black cloth. "You're ready," she said. "The circle is yours now." Inside the box was the original triangle eye symbol, carved into bone. Liam never opened it again, but he kept it. And at night, when the halls of Greystone were empty, he would go beneath the clock tower, and the circle would begin again. Because some doors once opened never close, and some boys once chosen never leave. The following school year began with a thunderstorm, jagged lightning carving the sky over Greystone High. Liam stood at the top of the clock tower, looking out over the rain-slicked campus. He was no longer invisible. Students moved aside when he passed. Teachers avoided eye contact. Something about him felt untouchable. But inside, Liam wasn't sure who he was anymore. He hadn't spoken to anyone outside the circle in months. He kept journals of his dreams, filled with sketches of twisted faces and whispering eyes. The rituals were now his responsibility. The chants, the offerings, the balance. Clara had said the circle must always feed. What that meant exactly, Liam was starting to understand. It started when he let in someone new, a boy named Ezra, who had a sharp mind and sharper doubts. Ezra was like Liam had once been, lost, observant, quiet in a dangerous way. He found one of the hidden notes Liam had left, part of the ancient recruitment. But Ezra asked too many questions. "Where do the symbols come from?" he asked. "Why does the chanting feel wrong?" Liam tried to explain. "It's not about belief. It's about submission. power comes through sacrifice. Ezra didn't flinch. So what exactly are we sacrificing? Liam didn't answer. He couldn't. Soon after Ezra's initiation, things began to go wrong. The weather changed. Fog clung to the school like a sickness. Shadows lingered in hallways after lights were switched off. Students whispered about hearing whispers behind the walls. Then someone disappeared. Again, a girl named Nyla, who had been in the circle for 2 years. Her locker was found open, her books untouched. No messages, just a symbol drawn in her mirror at home. The same triangle inside the circle. Liam knew what had happened. The circle had fed. Ezra confronted him. "You knew this would happen," he said. "You let her be taken." Liam stared at the bone-carved symbol on his desk. The more he looked at it, the more it pulsed, as if alive, as if hungry. "She asked to leave," Liam whispered. "It's the rule. You stay, or you're sacrificed." Ezra backed away like he was seeing a stranger. "That's not a rule. That's murder." Liam's hands trembled. "No, it's balance." Ezra ran. Liam didn't stop him. That night, Liam dreamt of Clara. She was standing in the basement, but her face was wrong. Her eyes gone, replaced by the same symbol they all wore. She spoke in a language he couldn't understand, but the meaning was clear. The circle is older than us, older than the school. It will not be broken. When Liam woke, there was a note pinned to his pillow, his own handwriting. Ezra knows too much. Feed or fall. But Liam had changed. For the first time in months, he left the school grounds and walked to Ezra's house. Rain poured. Lights flickered. He knocked, not knowing what he would say. But when the door opened, it wasn't Ezra. It was Ezra's mother, eyes wide, pale. "Ezra never came home," she said. "He left school yesterday and just vanished." Liam's blood went cold. He hadn't given the order. Someone else had fed. Back at the clock tower, Liam descended into the basement. The candles lit themselves as he walked in. The circle was waiting, but none of the faces were familiar. They were older, rotting, silent. Liam turned, heart racing, and realized the room had changed. The walls were not stone anymore. They were flesh, pulsing, breathing. At the center of the room was the bone-carved symbol, now glowing with sickly light. And then a voice, ancient, unplaceable, filled the room. "You thought you were leading, but you were only keeping the door open." Liam tried to run, but the exit was gone. Only the circle remained. And the eye opened. Liam didn't remember falling, but suddenly he was lying on the cold floor of the clock tower basement, soaked in sweat. The candles were gone. The room was dark again. Normal, except for one thing. The bone-carved symbol, the eye, was gone from the altar. Instead, in its place, was a smear of something black and wet, like ink or tar, and burned into stone beneath it were words in a language Liam had never learned but somehow could read. "The Watcher is awake. The circle is flesh." Liam stopped going to class. His skin had turned pale, almost translucent. The world outside the circle felt like a memory fading too fast to hold. When he looked in mirrors, sometimes his reflection blinked when he didn't. He began hearing voices in the plumbing, scratching in the floorboards, whispers behind doors that had been locked for decades. He wasn't alone in the circle anymore. He was the circle. On the third night after Ezra disappeared, a new student appeared at Greystone High. A girl named Mina, bright, confident, observant. She had piercing green eyes and the kind of curiosity that could cut through stone. She found Liam during lunch, where he sat alone in silence, untouched by the noise around him. "You're Liam Porter," she said, sliding into the seat across from him. He didn't answer. "I've read about you." 2 students gone. "One girl saw you near the clock tower the night it happened. Your name's in every weird blog post about this place." Still silence. "But I don't think you're the one taking them," she said carefully. "I think you're keeping something worse from getting out." Liam looked up. His eyes, once brown, now held flecks of black. "How do you know that?" he asked, voice flat. Mina's smile faltered. "Because I've seen it before. In another town. Another school. Different name. Same symbol." That night, Mina followed Liam to Clock Tower. She knew the path through the basement. She saw Liam, smiling, from the other side of the glass. The circle never ends. The eye is always watching. And some doors don't open. They awaken,